As Finn, Arik, Tilly, and Rusty traveled deeper into the wildlands toward the distant peaks of the Forbidden Mountains, a sense of urgency grew with each passing day. The ancient darkness that the Keeper of the Elements had spoken of seemed to loom over their journey, though it remained unseen. The land around them, once vibrant and alive with magic, was now touched by an eerie stillness, as though the world itself was holding its breath. The path ahead was long and treacherous, and the closer they got to the Forbidden Mountains, the more difficult the terrain became. Jagged cliffs and deep ravines stretched out before them, and cold winds howled through the valleys, carrying with them whispers of ancient secrets. After days of hard travel, the group found themselves standing at the foot of the Forbidden Mountains. The towering peaks rose up like massive black spires, piercing the sky. Dark clouds swirled around their summits, and a strange, unnatural mist clung to the lower slopes. It was a place that radiated danger, but also power. Finn could feel it in his bones. "Well," Arik said, looking up at the mountains with a grim expression, "looks like we've made it. Now all we have to do is find the gateway of eternity." Tilly, flitting beside them, was unusually quiet. "I've heard stories about these mountains," she whispered. "Very few who enter ever come back. The magic here is ancient and unpredictable." Rusty let out a low growl, his fur bristling, as if sensing something unseen. Finn adjusted his pack and took a deep breath. "We have to keep moving. The longer we wait, the stronger the darkness will get. The Stone of Spirit is our only chance to stop it." With renewed determination, the group began their ascent. The trail was narrow and treacherous, winding its way up the side of the mountain. Rocks crumbled beneath their feet, and the cold wind cut through their clothes like icy knives. But Finn kept his focus on the path ahead, knowing that every step brought them closer to their goal. As they climbed higher, strange occurrences began to plague them. Shadows moved at the edges of their vision, and strange, ethereal voices echoed through the wind. The mountains seemed alive, shifting and changing around them. One moment, the path would be clear, and the next, it would vanish entirely, leaving them lost in the mist. "We're not alone up here," Arik muttered, gripping the hilt of his sword. "Something's watching us." Tilly, ever the scout, flew ahead to check the path, but even she seemed uneasy. "It's like the mountain itself is trying to stop us." Finn tightened his grip on the pouch containing the stones. "We have to trust the Keeper's words. The gateway of eternity is here somewhere. We just need to find it." Hours turned into days as they pressed on, climbing higher and higher into the mountains. The cold grew more intense, and the air thinner. But it wasn't just the physical challenges that weighed on them. A sense of dread hung in the air, growing stronger with each passing moment. Then, one evening, as they made camp on a narrow ledge overlooking a deep chasm, the earth beneath them rumbled. At first, it was just a faint tremor, but soon the entire mountain began to shake violently. Rocks tumbled down the slopes, and the ground cracked beneath their feet. "An earthquake," Arik shouted, trying to steady himself as the ground shook. No, Tilly replied, her voice filled with fear. "It's something else. Something. Waking up." Suddenly, from deep within the mountain, a low, guttural roar echoed through the air. It was a sound that chilled them to the bone, as though the very heart of the mountain had come to life. Finn's heart raced as he looked around, trying to make sense of what was happening. "We need to move. Now." The group scrambled to gather their things, but before they could, the ground beneath them gave way. With a deafening crack, the ledge crumbled, sending them tumbling into the darkness below. Finn felt himself falling, the wind rushing past him as the world spun around him. For a moment, he thought it was the end, that they had come so far, only to be defeated by the mountain itself. But just as he braced for impact, something strange happened. The air around him shimmered, and time seemed to slow. The stones in his pouch began to glow, their light growing brighter and brighter and brighter until it enveloped him completely. He felt a strange warmth wash over him, as though the stones were protecting him from the fall. When the light faded, Finn found himself lying on soft, moss-covered ground. The others were beside him, unharmed, though equally stunned by the sudden change in their surroundings. They were no longer on the mountain. Instead, they had landed in a strange, otherworldly forest. The trees were massive, their trunks twisted and gnarled, with glowing blue leaves that cast an ethereal light over everything. The air was warm and thick with the scent of magic. Tilly fluttered up, shaking the dust from her wings. Where are we? Eric, still catching his breath, looked around in disbelief. Did we just fall through the mountain? Finn slowly stood, feeling the stones humming softly in his pouch. I think this might be it, the gateway of eternity. The realization hit them all at once. Somehow, the mountain had transported them to another realm, a place that existed between worlds. The gateway of eternity wasn't a door, it was a passage, hidden deep within the fabric of reality itself. As they took in their strange new surroundings, a figure stepped out from behind one of the towering trees. It was a tall, robed figure with eyes that glowed like stars and a staff made of twisted silver. The figure's presence radiated immense power, and Finn immediately knew who it was. The Guardian of the Gateway, he whispered. The Guardian regarded them with a calm, otherworldly gaze. You have done well to make it this far, young ones, but your journey is not yet complete. To find the Stone of Spirit, you must prove yourselves worthy. The trials ahead will test your courage, your wisdom, and your hearts. Finn swallowed hard, feeling the weight of the task ahead. We're ready. Whatever it takes, we'll do it. The Guardian nodded slowly. Very well. Follow me and face your destiny. With that, the group followed the Guardian deeper into the strange, magical forest, knowing that their greatest challenge was still to come. The Stone of Spirit awaited them, but so did the darkness that sought to consume the world. The true battle was about to begin.